developing sleep hygiene, like a sleep routine, is literally one of the secret superpowers that everybody could do that would cost them nothing. And so a good sleep routine would look like this. And if your listeners will do this for a week, you'll see exactly the power of sleep. So this next week, just do yourself a favor and pick a bedtime. 10 o'clock's a perfect one, but if that's too early, pick 11 o'clock. And make sure that you go to bed at the same time every single night for 7 days. Set an alarm 15 minutes before that time. Most people set alarms to wake up. I'm saying set an alarm to go to sleep. And 15 minutes, so let's say it's 10 o'clock, set your alarm for 9:45 and start this exact sleep routine. If you're one of those people that ruminates, lays down to go to bed at night and your mind wakes up, which so many people do, their body tired, but their mind awake, they just lay there and ruminate. And this is a collection of neurotransmitters in the brain called catecholamines, these waking neurotransmitters. So first thing you do is you take a contrast shower. Very simple. Just go into the shower, turn the water as hot as you can stand it on the back of your neck for about a minute and a half. Step out of that stream of water, turn it as cold as it will go, step back into that stream of water and just deal with it for 30 seconds.
That would wake me up, though.
Yeah, it will wake you up temporarily, but it will break what's called the catecholamine cycle, just like intense exercise will. If you ever talk to somebody who doesn't know how to meditate, or they can't meditate, they can't sort of focus and quiet their mind, then they go do a CrossFit WOD, and afterwards they just feel amazing, like they just feel clear and cognizant, awake and focused. That's because they blew out all the catecholamines during that workout. So a contrast shower can do the same thing. And then go over and brush your teeth, floss, and just a couple of tips on that. Use a soft toothbrush. Get rid of fluoride toothpaste. Use a toothpaste with hydroxyapatite. Floss every night and do something called tongue scraping. Tongue scraper will probably cost you $6 or $8, a little copper tongue scraper. Evidence is it on that. And if you have 2 or 3 minutes, do some oil pulling. Take a little scoop of organic coconut oil and just put it in your mouth and swish the oil around and spit it back out in the trash can.
After brushing your teeth?
After brushing your teeth. Just pull with a little bit of oil. Super good for your gum. Do? So oil pulling is it's an ancient Ayurvedic way of actually removing pathogens from the mouth without killing all of the good bacteria. It also hydrates the gums. Most of us are using like really hard toothbrushes, and we brush back and forth like this, and we're actually separating our gum line from our teeth. We don't have good oral hygiene. Very few people floss. And if you look at the connection between the oral cavity and the rest of our biome, we're not really connecting some of the conditions that we have to our teeth, right? We're not connecting the root canal that we had 5 years ago, which leaves dead tissue in the body, which has now become necrotic and has an infection called a cavitation. We're not connecting that to our early onset cardiovascular disease, our hormone imbalance, our brain fog, our consistent headaches. So do your toothbrushing routine. Then when you get in your room, surgically remove all of the light from the room. I mean, like a surgeon, walk around and try to close your drapes. If you have an alarm clock on your nightstand, throw a towel over top of it. If you have like a fire alarm, take a little piece of electrical tape and put it over the light on the fire alarm. You'd be shocked how little light it takes to raise cortisol levels at night. If you are going to be on your phone at night in your bed, which I don't recommend, but if you are, just go into your settings and set the red screen so that you actually are not looking at blue light raising cortisol, you're looking at a red screen. Make the room as cold as you can stand it. 68 or 69 degrees Fahrenheit is actually really good for sleeping. And then when you get in bed, invest in an $8 eye mask, a simple, soft eye mask, not the ones with the little Velcro straps that irritate you, but a nice, fat cotton eye mask. When you get in bed, just start a series of long, slow, deep breaths in through your nose, pause, and out through a straw in your mouth. And while you're doing that, every time a thought comes into your head, just grab that thought and pull it down into your lungs and literally breathe that thought right out of your body. You won't make it to 10 breaths and you'll fall asleep. And the point of developing this type of sequential sleep routine is that our bodies crave routine. One of the things that's happened as we've gotten more and more detached from Mother Nature is we're completely out of sync with the circadian cycle of the earth. We've lost a lot of connection. We lost a lot of connection with each other. We've definitely lost our connection to Mother Nature. And what the Blue Zone research tells us is that this is a non-negotiable. right? I mean, if you look at dieting across the blue zones, there's no continuity between diets. Nobody can make an argument that keto, paleo, pescatarian, vegan, vegetarian, diet is the diet to live a long life. That's patently false. If you go to Sardinia, you've got high carbohydrate consumption, ultra long life expectancy. You go to Singapore, you've got very high meat consumption, ultra long life expectancies. You go to the Mediterranean, you have high oil and fatty fish consumption, ultra long life expectancy. The diet secret is to eat whole foods, not processed foods. But the two non-negotiables in living a long life were sense of community and purpose and mobility and exercise later in life. And by community and purpose, that's part of what I'm talking about is our connection back to Mother Nature. So when you get in bed, do this breathwork exercise. You won't make it to 10 breaths. After you do this for 7 days, you're going to be shocked how good you start to feel.
Okay, I'll do that for 7 days, but I am incredibly skeptical when you say you won't make it to 10 breaths, because whenever I try to not think about certain things, I just end up thinking about more things. And then sometimes, like, if it goes on for a couple hours, I'll look at the clock and it'll be like,
that's the worst.
It'll be like 2 a.m. And you're like, oh my God. Like, I just know for a fact I'm not getting any sleep that night.
So rarely is somebody telling you what that is, right? So what's really incredible about the majority of things I'll do when I solve different challenges people have, anxiety, ADD, ADHD, is first I at least let them know what it is, right? So nobody tells you what's causing that. Right? You talk about the characteristics of it. Like when people say, I have anxiety. I mean, I feel anxious or anxiety all the time. And when you ask them what anxiety is, they'll say, well, it's like this sensation of the presence of a fear without the presence of a fear. I get very anxious. Sometimes my heart rate feels like it's racing. I hyperfocus on things. Okay, those are all the characteristics of what you're talking about. What is it? What is causing that? What's causing anxiety and also causing your waking mind is a rise in a very specific category of neurotransmitters called catecholamines. The reason why this is important is these 4 neurotransmitters rise in a fight or flight response. If you walked outside of this door and went out of your house and somebody was standing in front of you with a knife, you would immediately have a fight or flight response, right? Your pupils would dilate, your heart rate would increase, your extremities would flood with blood. You would start to have a fight or flight response. What is that response? It's a dump of these 4 neurotransmitters, norepinephrine, epinephrine, ephedrine, and dopamine. That's not important, but the point is, as these 4 neurotransmitters rise, they create first a wakened state. As they continue to rise, they'll create a hyper alert state. As you continue to rise beyond that, you'll get anxious. Anxiousness will give way into anxiety, the actual sensation of the presence of a fear without the presence of a fear. You can have a panic attack from thinking about getting eaten by a shark, just like you can have a panic attack from somebody standing in front of you with a knife. One is a very real threat. One is an entirely perceived threat. Chemically, they're the same thing. So now the question becomes, now that we know what it is, how do we address it? So people that have these types of ruminating thoughts do extremely good on magnesium supplementation, especially magnesium 3 and 8. That will quiet your mind, right? It will help you actually break down these neurotransmitters. Remember, in the human mind, we don't just create thought. We also break thought down, or else you'd always be thinking the same thing. The reason why you're in different moods throughout the day is we work on a stimulus response. So if we didn't break mood down or break thought down, we'd always be thinking the same thing or in the same mood. However, when we create thought at a faster rate than we break it down, the mind becomes clouded. And we call this attention deficit disorder. And about 70% of your audience, statistically speaking, based on their age, that I looked at your demographics, suffers from ADD or ADHD at some point during their day or throughout their lifetime. And no one tells them what it is, right? No one tells them it's a rise in catecholamines. It's an overactive mind. People with ADD or ADHD don't lack the ability to pay attention. They lack the ability to pay attention to so many things. So it's not attention deficit disorder. It's an attention overload disorder.
So you're saying magnesium.
Magnesium is amazing for that. Yes. And specifically at night, magnesium 3 and 8. There are lots of different types of magnesium. So add that and you'll find that you're not ruminating.
Now, one of the biggest traps with healthy snacks is just how misleading they are. A lot of protein bars I've noticed still spike your blood sugar, contain hidden sugars, or contain ingredients you can't even pronounce. And then you're hungry again an hour later. That's why we love the sponsor of this clip, War on Sugar. They make a bar that actually keeps your blood sugar stable, tastes great, and contains ingredients that you recognize.
War on Sugar bars are amazing. They're designed specifically to avoid insulin spikes, and their sweetness comes from monk fruit, which is exactly how they stay sweet without getting that blood sugar response. Plus, they use healthy fats and natural fiber to slow digestion and keep energy steady. And the result is amazing. It's no spike, no crash, and no craving afterwards, just clean, sustained energy that actually lasts.
And the ingredients list is refreshingly simple. No sugar alcohols, no preservatives, no natural flavors. Everything comes from real nuts, real fruits, and real cocoa.
So whether you're watching your blood sugar, eating low carb or keto, traveling or training, or you just need a grab-and-go bar that actually fills you up, War on Sugar is that bar.
They've got great flavors like lemon blueberry, peanut butter pistachio, and chocolate peanut butter crunch.
Seriously, guys, I highly recommend it. Just go to waronsugar.com and use code ICED10 for 10% off your first box. Once again, that is waronsugar.com. ICED10 is the code for 10% off your first box. I have a problem. When I eat, I spike and I crash and I cannot focus. I do not suffer that with War on Sugar bars, so I highly recommend it. Thank you so much to War on Sugar for sponsoring this clip.